What's up, YouTube world? All right, today I'm excited to share with you guys a video clip that I found that to me was very inspiring. Very happy to have seen this. It makes me excited about the future of dialogue and people getting along, which is something that I am particularly interested in and passionate about. If you've followed me much at all or know my music, I've written a lot of songs that are on that subject. I've written a song called American Grace. It talks about that, where essentially the chorus or bridge, whatever you want to call it, is all of us together dancing in the same place, all of us together. It's American Grace. I've written a song called Groovy Song, um, which is about getting along and togetherness and that kind of stuff. And I've got a number of songs like that. And so this video clip is on that topic, and it's something that I've seen for a long time, and I'll talk a little bit more about it after we watch the clip together. Um, but a concern of mine for a long time, and let's just preface it with saying, watching news debates, there was a moment in time where I kind of recognized even the side that maybe I disagreed with, when I stopped viewing them as sort of an enemy. I didn't I didn't really think of them as an enemy exactly, but I just thought they were sort of my opponent, I guess. They were the opposing side. And when I stopped viewing it that way, I started to realize that both sides are essentially doing the same thing, and there's no conversation, there's no dialogue actually happening. It's just a big gotcha game trying to make the other side look bad, so you win the day, and the viewer base is going to shift in your direction. That you're going to try to sway the people that are watching. There's not really an interest in the conversation. It's all a show trying to win the viewers, and that's what I saw in so many of these public debates or public conversations. And so this clip that I'm going to share with you today, I feel like is sort of the opposite of that. So I'm excited to share that with you. I also want by saying that I've been posting videos to tell you a little bit about the future of the channel, sort of an update on what to expect over the next maybe close to 2 months, and future of the channel. I have been posting videos pretty much every Sunday at 10 a.m. and I'm excited to say that I think I'm going to be increasing the amount that I'm posting. Um, and I really want to continue to make better content. One of the videos that I'm looking forward to putting out in maybe the next week is going to be a super in-depth guide for how to make money as a gigging musician. I realized maybe one of the best things that I can offer, and I'm just excited to try to teach people out there, anybody that has a doubt or is already on the journey, how I could help your path and help you to achieve your goals with making money, or your dream of making money as a gigging musician. And so I'm gonna go. I've already started working on the outline, and there's gonna be it's gonna be long. I think maybe it'll be over an hour, but I'm going to give you guys everything that I would have given myself, everything I would give myself if everything I've learned over these probably about 9 years of going from not having played a gig to making a full-time income as a gigging musician. And so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. And I'm looking forward to making more videos kind of like that, in that vein, but also getting outside of that, outside of uh, too much of a one-dimensional sort of subject matter. And today's video, this one that you're watching, is going to demonstrate that. The next few months are going to be a little different. So, like I said, I was posting every Sunday at 10 a.m. Going forward, I don't want to hold myself to a schedule, but I want to post a lot more frequently. And so I'm hoping to post at least twice a week, and maybe more, maybe once a week from time to time. But just whenever I find a topic that I think is worth posting about, or a video that's worth making, I just want to make it and post it. And so I think I'll be a lot more active here on YouTube, so I'm excited about that. And I hope you guys are too. And like I said, the next couple months, I'm out and about. Right now, I'm gonna be in Canada for a few days, and then my wife and I are headed to China to visit with her family for a while. And so in these times, I'm not gonna be playing much music. I didn't bring a guitar, so it's a little break for me, but I'm still gonna be thinking about it. And I have aspirations to interview musicians or attend open mics where I can to showcase other artists, get to have some conversations with other musicians. And in particular in China, I'm hoping I can find some musicians, maybe some that I came across when I was there the last time, to have some conversations, translate it, and give some insight into what the music culture is like in some parts of China. So I hope that's something that some of you all would be interested in. If it is, let me know if any of this sounds interesting to you guys. Let me know, because this is a kind of content that I would love to make. I love talking with different kinds of people, and I love music. So I think it could be really interesting. I certainly would find it interesting, but hopefully there are other people out there as well. And so if that is something that interests you, please let me know. So without any further ado, the video clip I'm going to share with you is a clip from Vivek Ramaswamy, a candidate for U.S. president. I've followed his candidacy for several months now, and I've sort of been up and down on my opinion of him. I think he's said some things that are pretty that are hard for me to get behind, or that bother me. And it's more about the way he says it sometimes. But I do think this clip that I'm about to share with you shows a side of him that is worth seeing, and to me seems very real, and is also something we just have not seen in politics for a significant amount of time. And it's very encouraging to see it. So hopefully this could be something that's encouraging to a lot of other people, and inspiring to a lot of other people to have similar conversations like he had here. There's a conversation between him and somebody that's LGBTQ, and I don't know that either one of them perfectly represent the arguments, but they both do their individual best. And the best thing that they do is that they don't give in to animosity. They don't view each other as enemies. They maintain the ability to see each other as fellow countrymen. They maintain the ability to offer respect to each other and listen. And I think that is so key. It's something that's missing a lot from politics, and the more that it's missing from just society in general, I think that's very dangerous for everyone, and it forebodes, or it forecasts not very good times. If people can't even talk, it's probably not headed in a good direction. It's a good lengthy intro, so let's dive into the video. Here we go.
All right, sit across the table from Xi Jinping. Give me the hard questions.
LGBTQ.
What's up?
You heard me.
I actually didn't.
LGBTQ.
Yep, what about it?
Yeah, you just said there was nothing about transgender.
Yeah, so how about this? I give you the mic, and we hear what you have to say. And then I'm going to answer you, and you'll hear what I have to say, what everybody else here has to say. Does that sound like a good deal?
I don't need a mic. Yes. I can speak louder.
Well, stand up, tell me your name, and state your question.
My name's Alexis Case, and I grew up here.
Okay.
In this town. LGBTQ is a serious situation in this world today. There are children that get bullied because they are gay, they're lesbian, they're transgender. I don't need that.
Okay. You're welcome to have it if you want.
I don't need
You get to ask your question, but after that, you're going to hear me give my answer. So I'll let you finish.
What is your stance on LGBTQ?
Good. Thank you for your question. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to go into a level of depth that I don't usually go into on a campaign trail, but I'm going to do it because you asked the question. You deserve an answer. LGBTQIA, there's so many letters, they've just added a plus at the end. That's where we are now. What's going on? So the same movement, because if we're going to call that one thing, let's play it fair. The same movement that said that the sex of the person you're attracted to is hardwired on the day you're born. That was the premise of the gay rights movement, for it to count as a civil right. That movement is now saying that your own biological sex is totally fluid over the course of your life.
Hypocrites.
You can't believe both those things. Well, I think I'm going to get to a deeper say. That's where I was about a year or two ago, but I think there's something deeper going on, and I'll tell you what it is. So the same movement, and by the way, let's think about the women's rights movement in this country, which said there's many ways to be a woman. You can have long hair, short hair, you can wear a skirt, you can wear jeans. Now says that, oh, if actually you want to behave a certain way, that means you're a man. So I think that the hypocrisies go all the way down, and I'll tell you what's going on. You can't believe both of those things at the same time if you're operating according to principles of sheer logic. But you can if you're adopting a faith, a cult-like belief system. So, this is controversial for me to say, but I'm going to tell you what I think. I believe that transgenderism specifically is a mental health disorder. I believe it's a mental health condition.
Okay.
Nobody cares what they think.
Well, no. We're going to finish this. This is good. We have to have open conversation in this country. But I don't think the
Not
compassionate
a
thing to do.
mental health disorder.
Well-
It's how they fucking feel.
Well, let me. If I'm going to give you a chance to respond if you'd like, but
No,
we
I
can't have an
just
open
think-
debate in this country if we're not able to state our views.
That's how they feel.
That's how they feel. And you know what? I'll tell you a story, and you deserve to hear this. I met two young women in this race about 6 months ago. Their names were Chloe and Katie, two young women. They're in their 20s now. Both of them had their breasts cut off. One of them had her uterus removed.
Okay.
They're in their 20s. They regret that decision. One of them wants to have kids. She'll never have kids. The other one will never breastfeed her children. They'll never be the same because they had that done to them when they were teenagers. So no, when a young person shows up and says,
But you
my
said
gender
20.
doesn't match my biological sex, they're asking for help.
But you just said 20. That's not
They happened to them when one girl was 13 when it happened to her. She's in her 20s now and regrets it. This is what's wrong in this country. We will look back at this and say this was barbaric that we allowed this to happen in this country. That is not compassion. That is cruelty. And so I don't think the right thing to do is I'm not going to villainize those people. You don't villainize people who are going through suffering, but you have to be willing to say when a kid shows up and says, my gender doesn't match my biological sex, you have to be able to say, what else is going wrong at home? What else might be going wrong at school? Get to the bottom of what's going on. Help that person with compassion, with dignity. So my view is this, if you're an adult, you're free to live your life however you want as long as you're not hurting somebody else. If you're a man, you can dress how you want. If you're a woman, you can dress how you want. Identify how you want. We're a free country and I'm not going to stop you. But kids are not the same as adults. And we have to protect our children. And I'm going to go further than that. We can't change the way that women and men compete in sports. We can't do that. We can allow you to live your life the way you want to. But we can't change the way that we operate in our own life. And I'm going to finish this thought and then you get to respond. Because I think this is good. We don't do this enough. Open debate. I love this. I think what we've had in our country before is a tyranny of the majority. And that's what we worry about. But right now we don't have a tyranny of the majority. What we have in this country right now is a tyranny of the minority. That's what we have right now. A tyranny of the fringe minority that tells you to shut up, sit down, and do as you're told. No, we have to stand for what is true. And so I promised you will have a chance to respond. I'm going to keep my promise. You tell me. This is good. We don't do this enough in our country anymore. Open conversation. Tell me.
I was a child when I knew that I was gay. Not the fact that I wanted to change my gender, but living here in this town, I knew that I wanted, that I was a lesbian, that I was attracted to females.
And you know what's
But I had to hide it.
And when did you grow? When was that? In the 90s?
Oh, no. Let's see. I came out when I was 19, so I was born in 1983.
So I think where we are now, we're in the similar generation. I think things today aren't what they were. I grew up in Ohio in the 1990s, and we're in a different place today. And I think this could be a very productive conversation. I don't get to do this in the campaign trail often, where we all are in our own echo chambers and silos. So it's good for us to talk to each other. I like that. Something funny's happened, I think, in the last few years in this country with the civil rights movement. It's right when we get to closest to the promised land of true racial equality that we then start obsessing over systemic racism. It's right when we get to the point in our national history where whoever you are, you can marry who you want, where you want, if you want, whatever gender they are, that we start then obsessing over the sexual identity revolution. You know what's actually funny right now is many people who are lesbian or gay are being taught to say that, hey, if you're a woman attracted to a woman, you're not a woman, you're a man. So that's the transgender movement. The L and the G, first of all, don't have that much to do with each other. The G and the T don't have as much to do with each other. But we're clubbing all of these things up to create more division. I hate the term persons of color. You want to know why? You take 100 different cultures, combine them into one thing that's designed to be opposed to this other thing we call white. And so the way I view this is, you are free to live your life the way you wish to, as long as you don't hurt anybody else in return. And I'm free to do the same thing too. But that doesn't mean we change the way men and women compete in sports. That doesn't mean we change the way men and women, I don't think that just because you identify as a man doesn't mean that you're entitled to a trophy. You agree? Do you agree with me on that?
That's different.
You agree with me on that?
I get you. I get you.
You agree with me on that? All
I
right.
get you. That's different.
Because
That's
men
different.
shouldn't be swimming with women in women's sports competitions. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's
different.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
100%, that's
And so that's what I'm saying is it's not all the same thing, right? And so we got to respect people and treat them with dignity. Every one of us is different. But all I'll say is kids aren't the same as adults, and if we can agree on that, then I think we at least made some progress tonight and we'll have a step forward. So thank you. I appreciate that. And I respect her for asking that. That takes courage to stand up and be the only. You know what? I'll tell you this. When you're the only person in a room, and I'll come to you next, when you're the only person in a room who believes what you do, I will always tell you, stand up and say it. That's how we're going to get this country back, is actually all of us starting to speak openly again. And that's how we're going to get this country back. And I love your shirt. She's got an American flag, so you get the next question.
Set it up here. So let me know what you guys think of that clip. And I think at the end, I think he summed it up nicely about just saying how much courage that takes to do that, to stand up in a room full of people that likely disagree with a lot of what you're saying, and a lot of people in that room that may not respect you. And I think that's the key point for me of that whole thing, is that despite that they never lost respect for each other, and you could see it wasn't maybe perfect, and I think I see different moments in what Vivek's saying where I feel like what I've seen from sort of the left or the LGBTQ, that he would lose people there, and so he didn't lose her in that dialogue. In some of those moments, you could see there were moments where the potential was there, and vice versa. There are things that she said that typically would lose the right side of the conversation. And Vivek held paramount the dialogue and just reiterating that it's just important for us to have these conversations, and giving her the floor and giving her respect to speak and leading the room. In some ways, that was maybe one of the best things that he did, is that he led that room of conservatives to be respectful and to listen. And I think that that's something that's just been so lost in so much public dialogue. And this was just a good example. And so I want to throw that out there. If you're not familiar with Vivek, I think he's somebody worth paying attention to, and maybe he would make actually a good candidate. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to throw in there. I guess I'll just mention again that, well, this is coming from me, from somebody that has done a lot of traveling, and I think that that's just something that I want to be part of, or I want to vocalize. Is I've met so many people around the world in different government systems, and this isn't an uncommon. What I'm about to say is not an uncommon thing, but when you meet the people of any particular place, of any particular country, you actually get to know the people. You realize everyone's pretty similar. We're all people, and when you just go hang out with people, you can usually get along with them. That said, there are differences between countries, and there are differences in ways of thinking. And really what it's going to come down to is patience and communication. And when you let yourself get really angry, when you let things get really heated up, when things get really volatile, when the discourse gets really heated up and fast-paced, and people want solutions now, and they want results now, that's not a recipe for consensus. That's not a recipe for progress. That's a recipe for anger. That's a recipe for miscommunication. And so some patience, respect. We're all people. We're all born into this world the same way. People go through different experiences. They have different views, and they need to be respected, and they need to be listened to. And everyone needs to go both ways. And it's through that we'll actually be able to start to see things more clearly. And it might not work every single time, but it certainly works a lot more than we're doing it now. And so I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to posting more videos. If anybody is interested in me posting videos about particular things, particular subject matters, hear my perspective on specific topics, let me know. I'd love to connect with what you guys want out of me, and looking forward to posting some more music related stuff even while I'm out not performing. In particular, this video for you guys that's just going into, like, I hesitate to use this word, but it's a masterclass. I'm going to give you guys a masterclass on how to make money as a gigging musician. I'm going to tell you literally everything that you need to know so that you can do it. Like, it's 100% doable. Anybody can do it, and it's just a matter of doing certain things. And if you do those things, you'll be able to make money playing music. And it's for anybody. It doesn't matter if you think you don't have music talent. It doesn't matter. I promise you, you can do it. So if you have any interest in doing it, if that's something you feel like you're passionate about, or you just think would be a lot of fun, this is going to tell you everything, including that if you think it's going to be a lot of fun, there's definitely a lot of aspects to it that are not a lot of fun. And so it's when people are up there performing, it can be a lot of fun when you're on stage, but it can also just be work, and where it can be a lot of work even on stage to get to those moments where it becomes fun. And so I'm going to be talking about all that stuff. I'll be talking about what instrument you should play, how you can pick an instrument, why, what are different reasons about picking what instrument you're going to focus on, and in particular, solo acoustic performance as a singer-songwriter, whether you use piano or guitar or ukulele or whatever it is, how how you can develop yourself to be effective and successful, and also make money, and get good reviews, and just everything. So I'm still developing the outline, but I hope you could see that's kind of a lot of that is where it's headed, and I don't feel like I'm even scratching the surface yet. So excited to share that with you guys. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Tell people about this YouTube channel. I'm planning on investing a lot more time and energy, and I just want to make the best stuff that I can make here. So any help with that and any help getting the word out is greatly appreciated. Thanks, you guys. Peace out. Have a good night or day or whatever it is.